Hey there, it's Zara from FlixGo. Are you ready to dive deep into the sands of Arrakis? Today we're uncovering the secrets hidden within Dune 2 that even the most eagle-eyed fans might have missed. From subtle nods to the original novels to cleverly hidden Easter eggs that tie the vast Dune universe together, we've got 22 super clever details that will blow your mind. Whether you're a hardcore Dune enthusiast or just love getting lost in its mesmerizing world, you won't want to miss this. So get ready and let's explore the depths of Dune 2 together. Before we start, support us by hitting the like button and subscribe to FlixGo for more movie magic. Let's go. 1. In Dune Part 2, Chani can be seen using a piece of blue fabric as a headband, notably in the scene when Paul rides the sandworm for the first time. In the book, The Art and Soul of Dune Part 2, director and writer Denis Villeneuve explained that when Fremen women fall in love, they wear blue in the film. 2. The fireworks seen during Feyd-Rautha's birthday celebration on Giedi Prime were inspired by drops of ink falling into clear alcohol. In the book, The Art and Soul of Dune Part 2, producer Tanya Lapointe explained that this was one of the most challenging elements of the film to get right, with Denis wanting them to look like negative fireworks. 3. The Cave of Birds set, which is prominently seen when Feyd-Rautha arrives on Arrakis to see the damage he has done after bombing Sietch Tabr, was designed to represent giant fingerprints, aka the Fremen's identity, according to production designer Patrice Vermette. In the book, The Art and Soul of Dune Part 2, Denis also elaborated on filming the bombing scene, saying that cinematographer Greg Fraser improvised shots to capture the intensity, as a war photojournalist would do. 4. At the beginning of the movie, Stilgar, Chani, and the Fremen showcase to Paul and Lady Jessica how they take water from the Harkonnen soldiers they've just killed. By the end of the movie, the Fremen have abandoned their sacred beliefs to follow Muad'Dib, aka Paul, and you see them simply burning bodies instead. 5. Also, the Fedaykin burning the bodies after the massive attack at the end of the movie is a callback to the opening moments of Dune Part 2, when we see the Harkonnen burning the bodies of the Atreides soldiers. 6. In Dune, during Paul's visions of the future, he foresees people fighting for him while holding flags that showcase the sigil for House Atreides with a dark background. However, when the battle at the end of Dune Part 2 happens, the Fremen fighting for Paul, who are notably led by Stilgar, are holding different flags. 7. In Dune, there's a shot that shows Paul fighting in a vision and his helmet opening to reveal his now blue-colored eyes. The sequence is recreated in Dune Part 2 when we see Chani fighting in the battle at the end. 8. In Dune, when Paul meets Reverend Mother Mohiam, she uses the voice on him to declare that he should be silent when he has his hand in the box. In Dune Part 2, there's a great parallel where Paul now does this exact same thing to her before he fights Feyd-Rautha. 9. Dune Part 2 is the first time we see Giedi Prime, aka the home of the Harkonnens, in the daytime, after only seeing it at night in the first movie. The Black Sun is the reason the sequence when Feyd-Rautha fights the Atreides prisoners is filmed in black and white. In the book, The Art and Soul of Dune Part 2, Denis explained that having sunlight kill color illustrated how nothing can flourish on this planet, not even color. 10. After Paul drinks the water of life and tells Lady Jessica that he sees a narrow way through all of the possible futures, there's a quick glimpse of the moment from later in the film when he stabs Feyd-Rautha during their battle. 11. When Lady Jessica moves to the south, there's a clear shift in the color scheme for her clothes and what the Reverend Mothers wear in the south versus the Bene Gesserits. You'll notice Jessica and the Mothers in the south wear earth tones, namely faded oranges, browns, etc., while the Bene Gesserits wear black. In the book The Art and Soul of Dune Part 2, costume designer Jacqueline West explained, "With Jessica's move to the south, our whole palette changes." She added, "It's much warmer and much more ornate." 12. In the scene when the Emperor interrogates the Baron, Rabban, and Feyd-Rautha inside the Imperial tent, you'll notice the set is designed like a pyramid, with the Emperor, Princess Irulan, and Reverend Mother Mohiam at the top, and the Harkonnens standing at the bottom of the stairs. In the book, The Art and Soul of Dune Part 2, Producer Tanya Lapointe details how the emperor sitting on the throne at the top is meant to symbolize how he's at the top of the food chain. 13. Then, as the scene continues in the imperial tent, with Paul eventually killing the Baron and confronting the emperor, you'll notice their positions on the pyramid-like set change. Now Paul is at the top with the emperor, Princess Irulan, and Reverend Mother Mohiam at the bottom. According to the book, The Art and Soul of Dune Part Two, this is meant to show the shifting political dynamics in the movie. 14. When Gurney Halleck appears for the first time in Dune Part Two, he's playing a 9-string guitar while singing, which his character often does in Frank Herbert's book. In the book, he's described as both a skilled weapons master and musician. 15. The set design for Lady Fenring's bedroom was inspired by the idea of an egg held between the legs of a spider, according to production designer Patrice Vermette. In the book, The Art and Soul of Dune Part Two, Tanya Lapointe said that this was one of Denis's favorite sets. 16. In Dune Part Two, the passage of time is illustrated through Princess Irulan's voiceovers, as she records what is happening and states the dates. 9 months pass over the course of the movie, which is different than Frank Herbert's book, which takes place over several years. This change also coincides with Lady Jessica's pregnancy. In the book, her daughter, Aaliyah, is born during this time period, whereas Denis elected to have Jessica remain pregnant and have conversations with her unborn child. 17. Dune begins with Chani watching foreigners descend onto Arrakis to mine for spice, with the end of Dune Part Two being the opposite. At the end of the second film, she watches Paul and the Fedaykin leave Arrakis to fight the Great Houses and begin the Holy War. 18. For Princess Irulan's incredible metal headpieces, costume designer Jacqueline West said they were inspired by how the nuns' habits framed their face. This allowed Irulan to have certain aspects of the Bene Gesserits without giving her the shape. Jacqueline added, "The Virgin Mary-esque mantle. I thought I could do that best with headdresses." 19. In Dune, there's a scene when the Sardaukar army silently drops in for an ambush. A similar moment happens at the beginning of Dune Part Two, when the Harkonnen soldiers float upward as Paul, Jessica, and the Freemen avoid and hunt them. 20. When designing the Sardaukar army's swords, prop master Doug Harlocker explained in The Art and Soul of Dune Part Two that they are made to reference a version of Excalibur, or Templar Knight's lethal broadsword. 21. In Dune, we see Liet Kynes preparing to ride a sandworm by standing on top of a sand dune on Arrakis. In Dune Part Two, the movie ends with Chani doing the same thing, with the scenes filmed almost identically. In the book, Liet Kynes, who is a man in the original novels, is Chani's father, but in the movies, Chani's relation to Liet Kynes has not been specified. 22. And finally, in the final battle between Paul and Feyd-Rautha, Paul kills him with the same position as the first training fight with Gurney in Dune. Except opposite. In Dune, Paul takes the advantage and would kill Gurney. But Gurney has his knife into Paul's chest. He says they are both dead. This is why Paul in Dune 2 takes the risk of a lesser lethal wound to kill Feyd-Rautha's. And there you have it, folks. 22 mind-bending details and Easter eggs from Dune 2 that add layers of depth to an already phenomenal film. We hope you enjoyed this journey through the dunes as much as we did. If you discovered something new today, or if there's a detail we missed, let us know in the comments below. Remember, FlixGo is your go-to destination for diving deep into the world of cinema. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to never miss out on our videos. See you in the next video, and may the spices with you.